why do I hire people in the Philippines? I'm actually in the Philippines now with one of my awesome team members. So we're going to talk about that, why I pick the Philippines specifically. Okay, so the one big reason right off the bat is the Philippines has really good people. We're talking cool people. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree, 100%.
Are you biased?
No,
Not
totally
no
not
bias,
biased.
no bias at all. The Philippines are genuine. They're warm. They're kind. They're also very educated and talented. Good people. Trustworthy, loyal. So some things that can be a little bit more tangible, though. Let's talk about communication.
Okay,
It's really easy to communicate. I mean, when you're talking outsourcing or hiring somebody from a foreign country,
right.
everyone in the Philippines speaks English. It's not their native language,
No, it's not.
but everyone speaks it.
That's true. That is.
So it's kind of like a second native language, maybe.
It's always the second. It's a second language, and all of the instructions that you'd find if you come to the Philippines will be in English.
Yeah, all the signage is in English.
Yes.
I mean, so on the way here, I had a full day layover in Shanghai. So I went out and explored the city of Shanghai. It was very hard to find English anywhere. So
Yeah.
I felt lost.
In fact, when you listen to like Senate hearings, it's mostly in English too. So
So obviously you speak English well,
yes.
and we can communicate just fine. So communication is awesome. I have hired people in other countries a little bit, mostly for project
Right.
type things, not as a full-time employee. And I have experienced some communication issues. I've heard stories of people like in India, great people, but sometimes communication gets lost. Where this is something that I've heard from John Jonas. He said if you ask, do you understand me? They'll respond back, yes, I heard you, but not necessarily that I understood you.
I guess that's.
So I mean, just the kind of the change of the language, I guess, can
I think
help.
the culture as well, and the Philippines being influenced by Americans, and so I guess
Yeah, a lot
makes
of
it easier.
that influence came back around World War II
Yep.
era as U.S. stepped in to help out fight the Japanese.
After the Spanish colonization came in the Americans, and then after the Americans came in the Japanese, and then the Americans came back to help us out to fight the Japanese.
Gotcha.
So, right.
Well, so English.
English.
Great way to communication. Communication's great. So this is a big one. I mean, this is why it's great to outsource to another country. It's for Americans to hire people in the Philippines. It's extremely affordable.
Right.
So why would you say that is?
I guess because comparing the cost of living here in the Philippines compared to America, number one, obviously it's a lot cheaper in here, and the minimum wage also is cheaper in here as well.
Yeah.
And also we're a third world country,
Developing country.
developing third world country, and so it's probably why it's cheaper. Why
Yeah.
labor is
Just
cheaper
just to
here.
give you an idea, the average amount that I pay per month is around $500 a month.
Right.
Which that sounds like such a small amount for full-time work.
Right.
But that actually allows you to do quite a lot. And a lot of times there's multiple people in a household.
Right. Right.
So if you combine those incomes,
I would say that $500 a month for a Filipino. Let's just say you started out as working. It's not that really big.
it's not like a luxurious income.
Yeah, it's not a luxurious income, obviously, but there are also offers as a for like a beginner, like an entry level job, which goes way below that, like 17,000, 18,000.
Hmm.
Although it could also go up to 35,000 for a starting position, but if you could compare the advantages of working from home.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that in another episode.
Mm.
I've heard a lot, transportation,
Transportation.
because there's so much traffic here I
Oh
found.
yes, it's the worst traffic.
So having to worry about
Uh,
travel time and the cost of travel, whether it's gasoline, whether it's
it's
You
by
know,
commute,
paying
by
for
bus or by jeep or whatever. You save a lot of time, a lot of money, and also on your wardrobe.
Yeah, that makes sense because you can work in your pajamas.
Yes, that's what I do.
So that's another reason why we hire people in the Philippines. Another point that I wrote down is reliable. I mean, it's not to say that other countries are unreliable.
Right.
I've just found that you guys are so reliable. I can always count on you.
Well, thank you. And we do not like to disappoint. If we have work, if there's some tasks that we need to do, if there are some tasks that are assigned to us, we pretty much do our best to please our employer, our boss. And so,
Something that I've learned and I'm trying to always get better at is that compliments seem to be really well received. When I tell you how much I appreciate you, it seems that
of
really
course, I mean, it never hurts to receive compliments, and it'll definitely make your day.
yeah. All right, another thing that I mean when in my mind when I think about a poor country or a developing nation or a third world country, I don't think of high education.
Okay.
But there's a lot of high education here.
Yes, that is
Do
true.
you have a degree?
Yes, I do.
What's your degree?
I graduated for entrepreneurial management. It's a 4-year course. so-
We've got a lot of degrees on our team. I was talking to one of our team members. I had no idea she actually has a marketing degree, and that actually shows.
Right.
Now I
yes.
understand. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much everyone in our team has a degree, and it's like the parents, typical Filipino parents, as much as they can, they would provide for their kids to graduate to be able to have a better life than they had. Although, of course, education, uh, having a degree doesn't mean that you're gonna be rich for life. But as much as the parents can, they try to provide the best.
If an American is going to hire somebody in the Philippines,
Right.
you've got to have internet access for that communication. Obviously, all the work that we do is all computer and internet based, and so
Yeah.
that makes it work. So that brings up the question: well, how is internet access?
Depends actually, right? Where I'm from, I live within Metro Manila, and Metro Manila being like the big place, big city.
Millions and millions and millions. Yeah.
Right, right. I have 20 Mbps.
So we've basically worked to see what's the highest plan available,
Yes.
right? And we've done that with other team members to
Right,
see
right.
what's the fastest upload, and upload speeds are the hardest here.
Right, right, right.
Download speeds you can get pretty good, but
And it doesn't end there actually, because you could have high internet speed, but if it's not stable, if it's not reliable, your connection, sometimes you'd experience internet outage for like a month, and so
ouch.
that could be a problem. And so I
It,
think
it seems that over because I've been hiring people here for almost 9 years, and it seems that we have less internet and less power problems
That's
in
true.
recent years than
That's
in the past, which
Right.
that's significant.
I think the government is working on it, and the companies always working to improve all lines of communication.
Now, how long ago was it your house flooded? A month?
Probably like 3 months.
2-3
ago.
months ago?
Yeah.
Okay, get this. I was talking to him on Voxer, which is a walkie-talkie app. We were talking on Voxer,
Right.
and he said that the water was up to your knees.
Oh no, it was up to my
Okay,
my chest.
maybe it went higher than one. Anyway, deep water, and I'm like, well, how do you charge your phone then? Is it going to die? Do we have to get
Well,
up?
the thing is though,
But he had power upstairs.
that's right. So the fuse box, I turned off the first floor, and I still have air conditioning at the second floor and internet. So while you was up, you would think that oh, life is good, everything's normal. But then when you go down, you'd be like tropical life.
Yeah, swimming.
Yeah,
Swimming to
Yeah.
the next room. Internet access, there are some issues with it, but it does exist. Obviously, our whole company
Yeah.
runs off of the internet, and we
I think
succeed
that's
with it.
something that you have to deal with.
Just have to get used to
Yeah.
the workarounds. All right, so the last point that I want to talk about that is not necessarily a reason why I started hiring people in the Philippines. The reason I started was really self-interested. I saw that I could offer services because my expenses were so low, the costs were so low that I could then leverage that and offer services and make a profit. You know, it made good business sense. But what I've learned over the years is how helpful it is to every member of our team, that I'm actually providing an opportunity. You know, obviously there's income from a job, but there's also the ability to work from home, which allows nursing moms to be able to
right.
still work. and the flexibility not to have to commute and whatnot. And one of our team members that he's worked with me for 8.5 years. He said something to me that caused me to feel emotion inside just 2 nights ago. We were talking about the changes that have happened in the company, because we went from being a web design company to kind of offering certain types of video services and SEO to now obviously we're exclusively just YouTube channel production. And his role has changed quite a lot over those years. And he said to me that, wherever you take the company, whatever changes happens, I'll follow you. And it really touched me. Another story with him that touched me is he asked me, we were in need of another graphic designer, and he asked me if his brother could apply. Right. And he applied, and you know what? He didn't have the skill sets necessary, and so I wasn't able to hire him at the time. And I think it was 2 years later, we needed another graphic designer, and he asked me, can my brother apply again? And I said, sure. Well, during that time in between, he had been tutoring his brother and also paying for his brother to go to school. And his brother had the skills at this time, and so now his brother's been working for us for I think 3 years now.
Yes, that's right.
It's really cool to be a part of that. This is my first time to the Philippines, and it's a thought that I've had is it's real easy to get angry at a computer. When you have computers, yes. and we haven't really interacted, even though you're here and the rest of the team's here, you hadn't met anyone else on the team.
This is the first time that I've met everyone.
2 nights ago, we all met together as a team for dinner. Yeah. There was me and 10 other team members. And I just sat there, and it really hit me like I felt great feelings of joy, because this is a team that we work with every day, and now we're all here. And it was kind of an indescribable feeling of joy that I felt. Also, I felt a feeling like recognition of the impact that the company that I've created, and the impact I'm having on all the lives of all these people. That's right, yeah. So it's a very helpful thing to hire somebody in the Philippines. I really hope this video is helpful. If you like it, give it that thumbs up, subscribe so that you can see more episodes like this, and we'll see you tomorrow.